We're now traders in a COVID world. What does that mean for us as traders going forward, and how can you take advantage of it? Let's talk about that and more right now. Hey traders, Andrew Mitchem here, the Forex Trading Coach with video and podcast number 429. Well, obviously the last 18 months or so, everything's changed for virtually everybody. Doesn't matter where you live in the world with COVID and all the effects of that. And it got me thinking about trading the Forex market and how good it really is and what advantages that we have going forward. I wanted to share some of those with you. And this is for you. It doesn't really matter where you live in the world. It doesn't matter whether you're a business owner, an employee, or an employer. Let me explain what I mean. So right now, there's obviously a lot of debate around the world with masks, with vaccines, with vaccine passports, lockdowns. All those things are still going on. And depending on where you live in the world, different countries, slightly different rules. Here in New Zealand, we're still in lockdown mode. I have no idea why, but we still are. It's badly affecting so many people, business-wise, emotionally-wise. You know, it's not good. And so if you're, let's say you're a landlord and you own a shop in a town somewhere, anywhere in the world. So obviously over the last 18 months, there's been lockdowns virtually everywhere. And as a landlord, that's going to be pretty tough. And going forward, that's going to be pretty tough because there's less and less people probably wanting to have cafes and shops, etc. in towns. And so as a landlord, what do? If you're the business owner, if you own the shop or the cafe or whatever it might be, business in town, you've had lockdowns, you've had people not coming into work, and so you've had that issue. If you're an employee and you work in those places, then obviously for a lot of you, if you cannot work at home, you've been badly affected as well. Now, that's what's happened, and we can't change a lot of that, but, you know, let's have a think about going forward from here. You know, let's face it, most people don't like wearing masks. Personally, I think they're horrible things. I'm very lucky I work from home and I hardly ever have to wear one. Now, if you're the sort of person, if you're an employee, you're now going to be having debates over masks, wearing them all day, and now vaccine jabs, and whether you... And this is not about pros and cons or saying what my opinion is. My opinion to you doesn't matter. The point is that people are going to get very strongly one way or the other. You might think that masks and vaccines are the answer and they're fantastic. Likewise, you might think that masks and vaccines are just control and a waste of time. But the problem is going forward, if you're the boss, you've got to deal with this. You've got to deal with staff with different issues. If you're the employee, are you going to be happy if you're working with people who are or are not vaccinated, depending on your point of view? If you're the person walking around town going to a shop or a cafe and you're against vaccines and masks, are you really going to go into town and spend money to go and sit in a cafe, or even they may not let you even in the cafe? So there's all these issues going on here. Now, it's probably going to get worse for quite a while until everybody sorts out what's happening. Now, bring that back to trading, and why I want to talk about that is to say, well, trading the Forex market, it gets you around all these issues, doesn't it? You know, you can work from a laptop, you can work from home, you can work remotely. If you're in America or Europe where you're lucky enough to now be able to travel again, you know, that's fantastic. You'd have noticed that a couple of weeks ago, Paul Tillman, who works for me, he was off in Florida for 2 weeks. He's just been up to Philadelphia last weekend. They're able to travel. A lot of my family over in Europe, they're all back traveling again. So, you know, the Forex market allows you to do all these things. But if you're in Australia or here in New Zealand, when you're kind of more stuck down and we're still locked down on can't do things, can't move anywhere, the Forex market allows you to continue to work and continue to do well and invest well. And that's where I see the big benefit of trading the Forex market. Wanted to give you an example from one of our clients posted on our forum site just last Friday. He made a massive 7.5% gain in the 1 day last Friday, and that was risking just 0.25% per trade. 7.5% gain in a day. He's posted all the trades for us to look at, for our clients to look at on our forum site. He's had some great gains and a few losses, but overall he made, with controlled low risk, 7.5% in 1 day. Now, going back to the business owner, going back to the landlord, you imagine trying to make 7.5%, in a year for some people, especially if you're, if you're looking at rents and rates, or if you've got investment properties. You make a 7.5% yield in a year, you're doing really well. This guy made 7.5% with very low control risk in 1 day. And not only that, he has the skills to do this day after day. Sure, it was a good day, and is it going to happen every day? No, but it shows what can be done. Now, lastly, if you're out there looking for a good Forex broker, I mention these guys often because they're good. We get tons of good feedback all the time from people who go to them and try them and really enjoy them, and that's Blueberry Markets. They're based over in Australia. They can take clients from pretty much anywhere in the world, unless you're in the US and a few other countries, but for most other people, have a look at Blueberry Markets in Australia if you are interested in changing brokers, or you want to start up with a new broker, a good broker. Highly recommend them. Great customer service. Really, really good brokers. I'll put a link to Blueberry Markets on this video and post and podcast. So I hope that helps. Like I said, going forward, who knows what's going to happen? But it's probably going to be pretty tough, whichever side of the fence you're sitting on regarding the whole COVID situation. Who knows how long it's all going to last for? But one thing we do know for sure is that if you know how to trade the Forex market properly, you can make some really good money and achieve a lot and enjoy the comforts of not traveling and or not having to go to work, and choose what you do when you do. It's a big bonus. So I hope that helps. Any questions that you have, email me, reply to this video podcast post if you've seen the email. If you're not, send me an email to andrew@theforextradingcoach.com. If you have any questions you'd like me to cover, any trading topics on future videos and podcasts, let me know. Anybody you think might be interested in this, feel free to share the video and podcast, and I'll see you this time next week. Bye for now.